All right, hey, it's Dan. Name of my channel is Numerical Lion. I use gematria or gematria, the ancient occult practice, to reveal the false reality in which we live in. And gematria is about numbers, our letters. Letters are numbers. You ever heard somebody say that was an A1 job or whatever? The alphabet is linked up with the numerical timeline, shall we see, that you saw in school years and years ago. So there's a story here, just more fear-based programming from your media. A 13-year-old boy charged with murder has escaped in North Carolina, officials say. And notice the timestamp updated at 12:38. And we're talking about murder equals 38. There's a movie called Murder by Numbers. Murder by Numbers. There's a song by the Police called Murder by Numbers as well. And there's a poster of it. I don't know if you can see this. That was the wrong one. Anyway, the E is a 3, and the B definitely looks like an 8. 3, 8, murder. Sandra Bullock is in it. Sandra Bullock equals 83, just like murder. The Police have a song called Murder by Numbers, right, by the Police. Talked about this before, but people need to realize it. It came out in 1983. The lyrics are, it's murder by numbers, 1, 2, 3. It's as easy to learn as your ABCs, right? It's a clue. Came out in 83. I don't know if it says it here, but it did. So anyway, let's get back to the story here. This is just more fear mongering. 13-year-old boy, and take a look at him. What color is he? Brown. Be afraid. Be very afraid of him. That's what this is all about. Look at the story. So police say they're looking for a 13-year-old murder suspect who escaped from officers following a court appearance in the North Carolina city of Lumberton on Tuesday, officials said. The boy, identified by state authorities only as Jericho W, fled around noon from a Department of Social Services building where juvenile court hearings are held, the Robeson County Sheriff's Office said. He was in court to face 2 counts of first-degree murder and a charge of robbery with a dangerous weapon, the sheriff's office said. Several law enforcement agencies are looking for him, including by air with the help of helicopters. Helicopters. Authorities have a high degree of concern for the safety of both the juvenile and the public, right? Because of his prior history of assaultive and unpredictable behavior, the State Department of Public Safety said. You got to have public safety come in. Details about how the boy escaped weren't immediately released, right? How did he escape? He made a juvenile court appearance Tuesday morning, the Public Safety Department said. He was seen in the facility wearing leg restraints and no shoes, according to the sheriff's office, and yet he escaped. So they talk about he was wearing a white t-shirt, found here. It was kind of like Highway 27, that number of Ritual, Country Club Road. So there's a lot to unpack here. Authorities asked the public to report any sightings of this boy. So everybody in North Carolina is on edge. This was on the main page. Yeah. This was the headline, right? You had this thing about Pompeo, this ugly picture of McConnell, and a black boy or brown boy. 13-year-old boy, right? 13 stripes on the flag, 13 years of public school education, K through 12. Well, now there's more, but That's what it's about. 13, the number 13. So anyway, I probably said it, but this is more race baiting, fear mongering from their corporate media. That's exactly what this is. Escape black boy on the loose. Look out, right? Boy conjures up the N word. All right, be careful. He's out there. Boy, same number, 42 as well. Boy, 42. Look out for the N word as well. He's an escape boy. So he escaped from a courthouse with leg restraints and no shoes around noon. Unbelievable, right? How does that happen? So this happened on Tuesday. Tuesday equals 95. Tuesday. 95. Escaped boy. Look out. Escape boy 95. Right? Just a coincidence. And no shoes. They had to mention they had no shoes. I mean, that seems kind of odd. Why does he have no shoes on? He's some poor black boy, right? No shoes. Same number, 95. Also you got 23, the reflection of 32. Also 94, Tuesday and no shoes. Seems to go hand in hand. It's Tuesday. It's no shoes day. Anyway, 95, the reflection of 59, a number stamped on a black people. 59, like Negro. Oops, if you spell it right. Negro. 59, also 32, just like no shoes, right? Also, it's, you got the blues, it's 59. Rasta, 59, that other name for, jigaboo, something you call a black person, jigaboo, 59, also 32, and 40, just like Rasta. So 59, a number stamped on black people, Motown, started in 1959. So I have another 59 later on. So this happened in Lumberton, North Carolina, equals 160 or 16. Lumberton, North Carolina. Also 137, they love that number. The 33rd prime, also 47, they love that number. It's full of all their numbers, right? 47, that number, what the free Masonic compass is set at, 47. Number of foundation, 47. So 160 or 16. And why is that interesting? On a day with 16 numerology, if you write out 16, it equals 33. All right, Lumberton, North Carolina, NC 137, the 33rd prime. And if you write out Lumberton, North Carolina, the full thing, it equals 106 or 16. We'll do that. Go to gematrynator.com and you can follow along. 106, just like 16. So Lumberton also equals 39. This happened on the 309th day of the year. This happened Tuesday. They're reporting it today, or the 6th. Lumberton, 39. Right? 1, 2, 3, conspiracy. So November 5th is the 309th day of the year. See that? 309 is 39. If you write out 13-year-old, it equals 39 as well, because they seem to be an emphasis, that he was 13. 13-year-old equals 39. Also 41, the 13th prime number. 39 is 13 times 3. Here you got a 13 as well, 113. Look out for those 13-year-olds, murderous 13-year-olds. So Jericho W. Now I thought they weren't allowed to give the names of juveniles. but apparently they are in this case because he's murderous or something. So Jericho W equals 91, and 91 happens to be the 13th triangular number. You add the numbers from 1 to 13, it equals 91, and he's 13 years old, right? His name is Jericho W. Jericho equals 41. Just his name, Jericho, thinks about the walls of Jericho, right? Some sort of other angle to this that I'm not fully understanding, but that's okay. Jericho 41, just like 13, and 40, just like what? Jigaboo, Rasta, Tuesday. What else was 40? Anyway, you get the picture. So to find them, they're using helicopters. Does this story even exist? How did he escape? Helicopters 130. Let's put out the S exception. So if you don't know gematria, this is a calculator at gematrinator.com. Derek Takuri developed it. And this is the English ordinal cipher where A is 1, B is 2, etc. You add everything up, it equals 130. Reduction is basically everything's down to a single digit, if you could see this right here. So it's 58 in reduction, very special number as well. And it's also 67 with the S exception. S can be reduced twice. This is where S is 10. S can be 19 and S can be 1. It's the 19th letter of the alphabet. 1 and 9 is 10. And then you have the reverse ordinal where, it's the alphabetic order reversed. So A is 26, Z is 1. Get a little further down here. A is 26, Z is 1. And then you got the reverse reduction where it's everything reduced down to a single digit. Again, this time in reverse. So again with the 59, we mentioned 59 before, right? Reflection of 95. Also 67. Also 167 is the 39th prime. 167, just click on it. Tells you if it's prime or not. Very special prime relationships, mathematical relationships, numbers. Geometry is the study of numbers, numerology, mathematical relationships. So anyway, it's the 39th prime. 13-year-old equals 39. Happened on a day with 39 numerology on the 309th day. There's also a day 67, a day with 19. Happened on a day with 19 numerology. And I'll show you this. 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 9 is 19. North Carolina equals 67 as well. So relationship between helicopters and North Carolina. Also he was 13 years old and it says 130. Helicopters 130. There's also 203 or 23. Just like, what was 23 before? Oh, Tuesday. The reflection of 32, no shoes, Negro. There's also a hateful word, in Jewish, which is a very relevant cipher outside of the 4 base ciphers, something called Jewish. And that N word equals 148. So they like to code that in there. North Carolina, the population, probably mostly black. 77 number of theater. Panic, black man, a black boy, a teenager. Look out. Teenager. 39 as well. And 42. Just like these numbers we were talking about before. It's a teenager. Look out. So anyway, Jericho, perfect that he's a juvenile. 46, juvenile 46. All right, show you juvenile. Also 46. I kept talking about the story, juvenile and boy. So he got free of the Department of Social Services somehow. That was what they mentioned in the article. Department of Social Services equals 406, kind of like juvenile. This is the number of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Department of Social Services, 406 or 46. So just a reminder, the corporate media is controlled by 6 corporations. Take a look at this graphic, right? There are 1,500 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9,000 radio stations, 1,500 TV stations, 2,400 publishers. Think about all that media. They're owned by only 6 corporations: GE, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, and CBS. That's it. General Electric, of course, owns NBC and Comcast and Universal Pictures. News Corp owns Fox, Wall Street Journal, New York Post. Disney owns ABC, ESPN, Pixar, Miramax, Marvel Studios. Viacom owns MTV, Nick Jr., Paramount Pictures. Time Warner owns CNN, HBO, Time, Warner Brothers, and so on. CBS owns Showtime, Smithsonian Channel, NFL.com. What is that? Can't read that. Anyway, 60 Minutes. So that's what's going on here. And they're telling you what's going on and you're believing it. As Chuck D said, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. They want to tell you that this is a big news. They want to scare you. Look, it's 41 seconds long. Weren't we talking about 41? 41, the 13th prime. Jericho equals 13. Helicopters equals 130. How did this guy escape from leg restraints? I think it was leg restraints. I got to do one more thing. I'm curious if you spell it right. Oh, leg restraints, 59. And 167, the 39th prime number we've been talking about the whole time. And 77, they were talking about theater. So I'm going to end on that note, on a high note. Just more news by the numbers. Check out my channel, Numerical Lion. My blog, daniellionsden.blogspot.com. Please spread this knowledge. It needs to be spread far and wide.